Assalamu alaikum everybody. Hope you're fine and doing great. If you remember, in our last class we talked about words, their structure, their forms, and the variety of words and the do's and don'ts about them. Today I have brought for you another very interesting and very relevant topic to words, dictionary skills. Today in this lecture we'll talk about what different types of dictionaries are available in the market and what dictionaries tell us, and how to record information which we get from these dictionaries. I know that dictionaries are not read like best-selling novels, but frankly speaking their importance is by no means less than from best-selling novels. If language has been an expression and record of human pursuits towards their development, their research, their discoveries, their inventions related to culture and civilization, then dictionary has been a wonderful record of the same language. It is not going to be a hyperbole if I say that dictionary is a book of history that includes a record of man's knowledge. Dictionaries, different linguists have contributed towards the making and producing of these dictionaries. Four names are quite big in this regards, like William Caxton, Samuel Johnson, Webster, and James Murray. These are four linguists, lexicographers who produce dictionaries in different time for different of course needs and purposes. Like William Caxton in 1483 he produced French English dictionary for travelers, for conquerors, for those people like who would trot actually from one place to another place. So like French, it was sort of a bilingual dictionary, French into English. 1483, and then Samuel Johnson in 1755. This is earliest English dictionary available for us. Of course, definitions of different words were there, and a brief sketch of words. History was also available. Then the third, we say modern English dictionary by Webster in 1828. In it also definition of words and pronunciation also. So in a way, like this Webster tried to standardize actually in a way, of course not that way, English language. And then came in 1928 Sir James Murray. He produced the Oxford English Dictionary, which was in 20 volumes. And this dictionary actually contained words, their etymology, of course the pronunciation, but major focus was given to the history of words. How and from where the words came into English language. See, if you go to the market or libraries, you can find dictionaries are available in different forms, different size, different shapes, different color. But we can divide all these dictionaries perhaps into two major categories. Like category one is non-abridged or unabridged dictionaries, and the second one is abridged dictionaries. Like unabridged dictionaries usually you find in the libraries on the dictionary stands. These dictionaries are in large volumes actually, not just 1, 2 or 3, 20, 22, 18, 12, 4 volumes available. So of course you don't find these in man's personal collection, only available in libraries, and they are a wonderful record of human culture and civilization. Talk about religion, talk about psychology, philosophy, talk about economics, talk about anthropology, whatever aspect of human being, humankind, you will find directly, indirectly information in such volumes available. Then there are abridged dictionaries. Here the story is different. Abridged dictionaries are dictionaries which, do not focus on this oceanic detail, actually, of words, but you find eclectically chosen words. Of course, those words, which are very commonly, used in English language. And these words you find in abridged dictionaries. Today, as I'm talking about unabridged and abridged dictionaries, I should also give you some names of the dictionaries, which are these days available in the libraries abridged, or in people's personal collections, as, libraries unabridged, and in people's personal collections, as abridged one. Like, first on your screen you can see unabridged dictionaries like Webster's Third New International Dictionary. Now, second one, Random House Dictionary, and the third one, Oxford English Dictionary, which I told you before. This is available in 20 volume. The second category, which I said abridged, of course, these dictionaries are, composed of such words, or they contain or consists of such words, which are familiar in nature and very commonly used, actually, by people. If Oxford, for example, Oxford English Dictionary is available in 20 volume, for example, its abridged edition is available only in 2 volume. Now, you can understand the amount of information, which is volumed actually in 20 and then in 2. Now you can understand, like, how carefully, these lexicographers, chose those words, and then presented in such form which could be used, by language learners, you can say, or which, could be kept, in your home as a reference. So some important, dictionaries which are abridged. On your screen you can see Random House College Edition and Webster's Collegiate Dictionary. Third one, American Heritage Dictionary, and then Shorter Oxford English Dictionary. Now, this Shorter Oxford English Dictionary is the one which I said, like, a shorter form of the 20 volume Oxford English Dictionary. And there is one more, which is Concise Oxford Dictionary, by Catherine. This is another very, very nice, and highly authentic dictionary available in the market, which of course you can use for your language needs. There is one more category of dictionaries you find in the market, and in libraries, that we call as learners' dictionaries. When we say learners' dictionaries, these dictionaries are specialized, actually, specialist in nature. They are meant actually for language learning thing. Those people, like, who are like interested in language learning, for example, they can of course use some of these, and they can find very useful. For example, these days in your town you find big praise these days goes to Oxford's one dictionary, which we call as Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, for example. Now, this one is a learner dictionary. Here, when we say learner's dictionary and not learner dictionary, what possibly can be the difference? Difference will be, some dictionaries which are reference dictionaries, like abridged and unabridged, which are available actually in, big volume form, or if not big volume, semi-volume. Their presentation will be not that user, friendly. And of course, they are specialist in nature. Some will have the focus on only pronunciation. Some will have focus on etymology. And maybe the user of those dictionaries may not find, the, word usage, for example, or some, example sentences, for example. So, or maybe grammar information they don't find. But in learners' dictionaries, you find systematic information starting from keyword or the bold word, going down to all possible, details relevant to that word, keeping in view a learner's need. For example, a language learner may be interested in the pronunciation of that word. He might be interested in the grammatical information of that word. He may know, or he, may wish to have information about the phrasal and possible phrases and possible, idiomatic use of the same, word. So learners, like, needs, of course, are different. So these dictionaries, they cater their needs, actually. You find a lot of information, in learners' dictionaries, which are highly systematically arranged, in a very particular order from major to minor, importance. Now, some important learners' dictionaries, you can take a look. They are like Concise Oxford Dictionary again. Now, Concise Oxford Dictionary is a reference dictionary also, and it's a learner's dictionary as well. So it falls in simultaneously two categories. Next one is Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, which I already mentioned. Quite nice, helping, good for language learning, good for reference also, and it gives you all possible, pieces of information which one may wish to have about, the words they are, trying to look up. Next one, Longman Language Activator. Now, this Longman Language Activator is quite a different dictionary. Unlike Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, in Longman Language Activator, here, the lexicographer, they've tried to make it serve two needs, for example. Number one, the needs of writers, and number two, the needs of speakers. In this dictionary, you find a clear-cut difference between the word usage, for example. They have used certain symbols to highlight or to, show the language learners that which words are for spoken language and which words are for written language. And another interesting thing is, when you consult this dictionary, you feel as if, like, dictionary is having a dialogue with you. I mean, dictionary is asking you a question. Let's say, if you want to know the meanings of flower, for example, you can thumb through the word flower, F-L-O, and reach and find out the word. Over there, not straight away you'll find the definition of flower. Rather, dictionary is going to ask you some questions. I mean, do you want to know its literal meaning? Maybe its figurative meanings, maybe its medicinal use, maybe it's, some social use. Questions like these, just to tell you about. Then accordingly, you would find section numbers or page number or the order of information. For example, like I said, flower, and then there were 4 questions, and then if the information about the answer to those 4 questions is given right there and then parts can be A, B, C, and D. Like if you want to know the figurative use of flowers, so dictionary may guide you, consult part C, for example. So no need to read part A or part B or part B, jump to part C, and there, like, you can find your desired information. So this dictionary, I believe, is a modern day wonder, a great revolution actually in the world of dictionaries. And I always very, very confidently recommend 2 dictionaries to my, language learners. The one, Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, and the second, Longman Language Activator. Longman Language Activator going to give you a very different taste, actually. Why? The same dialogue difference, actually. The dictionary asks you questions, as if, like, you are consulting, you're sitting on your computer and consulting, software. There, like, you have questions, you answer those questions, and you find, relevant piece of information. And here, focus is on pronunciation, focus is on spoken and written English, and some example words, and not more, than this. Yeah, maybe you find information about collocations also. And then another important learner's dictionary is Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary. It's kind of a copy, to say ditto, exactly the same way it has been, fashioned out, the way Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary has been fashioned out. BBC English Dictionary is another learner's dictionary, which you can use. And the quality of this dictionary is that this is not for advanced learners, but for, you can say, intermediate level language users. And here, you don't find synonyms or antonyms, straight away you find the definitions of words. Here, word-to-word meanings are not given, actually. Rather, word-to-situational meanings. Word and a full-fledged definition is given. If ABC, let's say there is one word, supposing a word ABC, and its explanation will be given this way. If you do ABC, it means that you are doing this. So this kind of, like, illustrations you find in BBC English Dictionary. And Another important dictionary for elementary language learners, we call it Oxford Elementary Learners Dictionary. This is very nice one. It's based on, you can say very, very commonly used words, quite familiar words. And you can say this dictionary is based on essential words, actually. I mean, such words which, everybody should know. Then there are some more dictionaries, for example, let's say online dictionaries you can find, you sit on internet and you can find online dictionaries. Oxford is available, Cambridge is available, Longman is available, Webster is available, online. And then there are some electronic dictionaries also, which we call as talking dictionaries. You find Webster talking dictionary, and then you find another electronic dictionary, Oxford, of course. Now, these two are dictionaries which, electronically available, you can buy from market, you can put in your pocket, in your bag, you can carry, very, easy to use them, just type the word, enter, and, meanings you find, quite flexible. I mean, the need which was felt actually while reading novels or books, you find difficult words, and then putting your novel aside and picking up such a bulky book in your hand and thumbing through the keywords and then finding out information. This has been now, resolved by electronic dictionaries, just a small pocket size, type word, enter, get your meanings, and stay connected with your readings. So this is something, the good of these electronic dictionaries. Now, the question comes actually when so many dictionaries are available in the market, what a learner should do, how he should decide which dictionaries to keep or buy, from the market. Look, I know that the range of dictionaries available in the market, can confuse any buyer. I mean, people may be seduced by their color, their illustrations maybe, or their different sizes, or, the catchy slogans maybe. But the educated and wise buying will be keeping the 5 points, very, very important points in mind. Don't go and blindly buy dictionaries, because dictionaries are going to be your references. References means, your guide actually. So very, very carefully choose, dictionaries. Now, 5 points are what? Number one, publishing date. Look, our language is changing every day. New words are coming in. Words which used to be considered A class, now they are gone down to B class or C class, and then, obsolete. Therefore, always check the year of publication or the editions, Of course, any dictionary which is, which is of 2006 or 2005 should be preferred over, of course, to which are of 2098 or 99 or 2001. So always check, the publishing date. This is criteria number one. Buy latest dictionaries. Don't go to old dictionaries. Of course, if you go to old dictionaries, you're going to have, information which is now obsolete, perhaps, or the words which, perhaps when you read modern day, information and you feel like consulting and you don't find the meanings or definitions, of course, you will be, frustrated. So buy latest, number one. Number two, definitions and meanings. Look, many dictionaries, rather I would say big, names like Cambridge and some of Oxford's also, Longman's, Macmillan's, for example. You find that not all of these dictionaries give you, all, or you can say full definitions or meanings. They're going to give you just primary meanings, and that's it. Then, of course, you'll find a new word up there. Secondary meanings, tertiary meanings, and phrasal use, idiomatic use, compounds, derivatives. I mean, there's a huge ocean of definitions and meanings which dictionaries should actually give. So please keep in mind when you buy or, select a dictionary, number one, year of its publication should be latest. And number two, what is that? Full definitions and meanings. Just open up a dictionary and see, does this dictionary give only one, the primary meanings only? Or there are some secondary or some tertiary? So this is how you can decide. Number two. Number three, Dictionaries should give you pronunciation. Look here, some dictionaries, I mean, I'm not exaggerating actually or what. Some dictionaries, give you 7 types of pronunciation. What does it mean, 7 types? Look here, one will be standard, British, then regional British, and then common error about that pronunciation. And exactly the same way, standard American, regional American, and common error about that. So 6. I'm not saying that, now you go and start searching about such dictionaries, which give you 7 or 6 or 5 types of pronunciation. What I'm trying to say is, at least, at its minimum, there should be 2 pronunciation. I mean, Oxford, this British and American pronunciation, should be there. So, I mean, let's say there's a dictionary A, it gives you only British or only American. There's a dictionary B, which gives you British and American both. So, of course, go for the one which gives you both. Right or not? So this is the third, important point to keep in mind, or you can say the third criteria to keep in mind. The fourth important thing is the word class. I mean, dictionaries should guide you whether the word which you are consulting or looking up, from the dictionary is noun or pronoun or adjective or adverb. I mean, it's class, it's parts of speech, dictionary should tell you. And the fifth and the last one, according to my opinion, the last one is the label information. See, not all words you can use in all situations. Words are specialist now in nature. For different situations, you have different words, because there's a huge, choice and variety available in front of you. Like some words are, let's say, slang, or some words are, let's say, colloquial, some words are formal, some words are pompous, some words are technical, some are non-technical. So label is something which guides you about word, in which situation the word should be used. So if you find this information also available in the dictionary, then this is the fifth and the last point to buy, that dictionary. Now, 5 points I have given you to select a dictionary. Number 1, year of the most important publication, latest dictionary buy, number 1. Number 2, buy a dictionary which gives you more than 1 meanings, primary, secondary, tertiary. Number 3, buy a dictionary which gives you at least 2 pronunciation, British and American, both standard, of course. And fourth one, a dictionary which gives you, the word class. Now, the word class means, of course, the grammatical information, about the words. And the last one, label. Dictionary should guide you whether this word is formal or informal. Now, these 5 points, keep in mind, and I believe your selection, will not disappoint you. Okay, now let's talk about what dictionaries actually tell you. Look, dictionaries, very common dictionaries, as I discussed with you before, they can give you definitions, they can give you pronunciation, and they can give you some, example words. But a good dictionary gives you, I believe, if I'm not exaggerating, more than 12, 13, 14 types of guidelines. For example, of course, head word. Head word is the one which we call the keyword which you are actually, looking up from that dictionary. Head word, the keyword. And of course, these head words, I should also mention this, that these head words are, alphabetically arranged in dictionaries. And if I discuss with you a layout of a dictionary page, you, just randomly open any page, you would find that on every top of every page, 2 words you find. One is left and the second one is right. The left word is the one which is the first word on that page, and the second one is the one which is, the right word is the one which is the last word on the page. So this is something, important thing. Since all these words are alphabetically arranged, like A comes first, B second, and then A comes, of course, first, and B comes, second. So this is how, words are set. Let's say the word is clock, so you'll not go to A or B, or even you'll not go to C. You, of course, will open from C and then thumb through C and L. Not C and A, C and B, C and C, rather C and L. Go to C and L, and from there, like, then CL, and then next comes O, CL, O, and there, like, you find the head word. Of course, head words are there, and after head words, you find pronunciation. As I mentioned before, some dictionaries only give you one pronunciation, and a good dictionary should give you at least two, British and American. Now, these British and American pronunciation, when I say, left pronunciation always is, if there are two pronunciation, please keep in mind, left one is always British pronunciation, right one is always American pronunciation. And they are divided by two straight lines. Keep in mind, left one is British, right one is American, and separated by two straight lines. In some dictionaries, you find more than two. I mean, if there is any regional pronunciation, for example, let's say British pronunciation, which is standard one, according to RP, received pronunciation, and there may be one more pronunciation if commonly, known, then they, of course, can give you that one as well. But minimum two, types of pronunciation, is available, in dictionaries. And pronunciation is, given through notational system, of course. I mean, after every head word, you find some very, strange, frankly speaking, strange symbols. They are sounds, actually, sound symbols, I'm trying to say. Head word, of course, can give you spelling, but cannot give you pronunciation, see? And, of course, pronunciation cannot be read out from spellings, actually. Spellings in English are different, pronunciation is different. Because spelling alphabet are less, and pronunciation alphabet are more. Sounds in English language are more, therefore, like, we needed to have some notational system, or you can say sound alphabet, in other words. So if you see the dictionary, of course, you would know that after head word, in slashes, inside the slashes you find some symbols given. They are sound symbols. They guide you how that particular word should be pronounced. There are three, notational systems available in the world at this time. Like first one, you can say Daniel Jones, notational system. I'm talking about those symbols, actually. Daniel Jones. Second one is A.C. Gibson's. Now, A.C. Gibson's is now these days standard considered for British pronunciation. And for American pronunciation, you find Fromkin, F and R, commonly known. So, three notational systems. So, in your dictionary, if it's mono pronunciation dictionary, I mean, it only gives you just British, so that most possibly will be, this A.C. Gibson's notational. If it's American dictionary, for example, Webster, so you can find, Fromkin's, like, symbol system, which can guide you, like, how to pronounce that very word. So these are, three sound systems, which dictionaries, lexicographers actually use to tell their, readers how to pronounce those words, according to British way or American way. Then, of course, after this, you find word class. Word class means that ABC word is noun, or it's adjective, or it's verb or adverb, or it's an article, or it's a preposition, or a conjunction. Whatever that grammatical information is about, dictionary is going to guide you. So, first thing, dictionary gives you the keyword, which we call as head word, typed in bold. Next to the head word, you find notational systems. Pronunciation, key. By using that pronunciation key, you can, of course, understand, how to speak that word British or American way. If I found time today, towards the end of the lecture, I'd try to explain you at least A.C. Gibson's, this notational system, so that, you can really use that system to, read pronunciation from. Next, this pronunciation you find word class. As I mentioned before, this is grammatical information. After word class is, we call it inflection. Now, inflection means what? That the variation of that word. That word, for example, it's past form, it's past participle form, it's infinitive form, and it's present participle form, I mean ing form. This is called inflection of the word. So, head word is there, pronunciation is there, word class is there, and then comes, inflection. After inflection, there are some homographs. Homographs are what? Homographs means such words which have the same spellings, but their usage is different, or their word class is different, for example. To give you an example, let's say abode. A-B-O-D-E. Abode is a word which means someone's home, for example. But abode is also the second form of abide. Now, you will find in dictionaries abode written separate and one abode written separate. The first abode, of course, dictionary will define this is home, like this is my abode, this is your abode, your home or your house. And the second one abode again written. Why? Because it's a homograph actually. I mean, spellings are same, but the word class is different. The second one will be abode, and the dictionary will tell you that this is the past form of abide. After homographs, you find etymology. Now, what is etymology? Etymology means information about the history of that very word. As you know, that many English words, taken from Latin, from, let's say, Greece, and, from this French language, and Greek language, and, there are many from Hindi, there are many from Sanskrit, for example. So, this is what actually the history of language is. Good dictionaries, of course, they guide you that what's the history, where from this word came actually. Let's say there is one word, K-I-S-M-A-T. Now, this word is kismat. Now, kismat actually is a Hindi word. So, in the dictionary, you'll find Hindi, H-I-N-D-I, that this word came into English language from Hindi. If there is word came from French, so dictionary in bracket will write over the French. The origin of words, the history of words, for some very important information, for some may not be, of course. When we say use short and familiar words, it means we are saying that don't use Latin word. How would you know which word is a Latin word? Of course, by the size you can guess, but educated answer will be go to the dictionary and find out which word is Latin and which is not. Latin words, of course, will be very difficult, bigger in size, difficult for the reader to understand the meanings, and words which are not Latin, take the example Anglo-Saxon, for example. So they will be easy to understand, very familiar words, short in size. People, of course, can, easily understand and, take their meanings. And when you use them, your writing remains not lightweight, not heavyweight. Next entry after this etymology comes important meanings and definitions, for which actually you consult dictionaries. As I mentioned before, dictionaries give you primary, secondary, tertiary. Good dictionary should give you more than one meanings, wherever, of course, possible. And then comes examples. Some dictionaries do not give you example. The same word, used in a sentence. But of course, learner dictionaries, especially, they give you lots and lots of examples so that, you could not only, understand the meanings, but also you should know that how this word is actually used, in English language. So examples are very, very important to read and note down, when you keep a record for yourself of all the words like, looked up from dictionaries or like, learned, for, better language use and learning, of course. Next comes polysemy. Now, polysemy actually means when a word has more than one meanings. So, dictionary is going to use, numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is polysemy actually. Good dictionaries, of course, give you all, possible meanings for your information. And of course, a good user, educated dictionary user is the one who, when, looks up the meanings of a word from dictionary, not just, confines himself to the very primary meanings of that word. You have to decide, look, when there is a polysemy available, for example, more than one meanings available, then may be that the primary meanings are not exactly the meanings which you want for some very particular context. What you have to do, go through all the meanings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ask yourself which meanings actually fit in my, context. The novel you're reading, the newspaper you're reading, ask yourself, is the primary meaning my desired meaning, or the secondary or the tertiary meaning is my desired meaning? Accordingly, get to know. The next one, very, very important one, collocations. Many dictionaries do not give you this information about collocations. Now, what are collocations? Collocations means words which normally are used in association. For example, let's say the word is argument. Now, the word argument can have many different, collocations. For example, you can win or lose an argument. You can make an argument. Now, this winning and losing and making, these are the collocations of the word argument. You can get into an argument. Now, get into is what? Get into is the same collocation of the word argument. Then you can endorse someone's argument. Endorse is another word which goes with argument. You can refute my argument. Refute is also the collocation of the word. You see, a dictionary which gives you information about collocations actually makes your job very easy towards language use. Not just the head word, the key word, which you want to know the meanings of, but also dictionary gives you its association. Like, these words normally are used with this word. You have seen, like if you want to know the meanings of, let's say, water, very simple word, dictionary can give you its collocation that water can be cold. So cold is a collocation of the word water. Dictionary can also give you that there is one more collocation you can use with the word water. Like if it's cold, don't use very cold, use icy cold. Right? So if there is some bought, which is, let's say, cheap bought, you bought something and you say it's cheap bought, and dictionary can give you, it's not just the cheap bought, it is, let's say, dirt cheap. And silence, its collocation can be pin drop. So collocation is something which is very, very important to know. These are words which are used normally with the keywords in association, or you can say words which associate the keywords, the head words. Very important to keep in mind and very rightly use words in, groups. The next important thing is register or label. As I mentioned before, when I was talking about, which dictionary to buy and what criteria to follow, look, good dictionary will definitely give you an information about the formality of that word. When we say register, it means it should give you the formality. Is this word formal, or this is informal, or this is colloquial, or this is slang, or this is disapproved socially? It's dictionary, it's the label which is going to tell you that use this word or don't use this word. Now, you might be asking me this question, then if there are words which dictionary asks us don't use, then what's the point of having those words in dictionaries? Look here, dictionary is actually a book, which is what? Collection of words, good words or bad words. It's not the job of the dictionary to restrict some words. Why? Because these are socially bad words, so dictionary, lexicographers, will not give them the place in their book. No. Dictionary is what? Dictionary is a country where all words, whatever their shape, their form, their variation, you find all them there. Now, it's the user actually, by reading the label, decide that should I use this word and where I should use this word. Right? You will find, let's say the word is, just to, give you an example. Let's say the word is tear off. Tear off is a word, and you don't know actually that this word is, let's say, colloquial or formal. Formal or informal I'm talking about. You don't know. And it's the dictionary you'll find in some bracket that this is, let's say, colloquial, or at least informal, INFOM. Another version of the same word, detach. Now, tear off and detach, these two words they have the same meanings actually. Words are different. And why these two are different? Their label is different. Tear off is informal, detach is formal. Let's say ask, and ask, if you compare it with inquire, for example, label will guide you which word is informal or formal and which word is formal or pompous. I mean, famous people can be celebrities or can be luminaries, you know. Then it's the dictionary. From the label, you can understand famous person, okay, can be a celeb. A celeb is a formal word. If you find the word luminary, for example, the dictionary in bracket will give you an information that this word is pompous, means this word is more than formal, actually, avoid. Or if there are some, let's say, slangs, let's say, nice word, and then you find terrific. Nice and terrific, you don't know, I mean, to use nice, or can I use nice, can I use terrific for the same person? It's the label, actually, which tells you, use nice when it's, let's say, semi-formal situation. Use terrific, you can say this is a slang, colloquial word. You can use it for your friends, perhaps, but you cannot use it for the people who are above in relationship or formal in relationship, you know, with you. So, label thing is very, very important to read. And if you're noting down words, you know, to note down also. This is something very important. Otherwise, you may make this mistake that in formal situations, you're using informal words, and in informal situations, you know, you're using formal words. So this kind of like, you know, confusion, labels can resolve. And of course, good dictionaries are going to talk about labels and registers. Of course, you find not all words can be understood by everybody. I mean, if you are, you know, consulting dictionary for some, let's say, words about computing, for example. So dictionary is going to give you a label that this is TECH, this is technical word. Now, technical word means, you know, specialist audience cannot be understood by everybody. Only a special group can only understand. So it means don't use this word publicly. People, you know, may not, you know, get it. So this is how label function, you know. Labels importance and the use. Don't ignore. So when you choose dictionaries, keep in mind, go for those which guide you about the registers and, you know, labels. Now, let's move a step ahead. Some dictionaries, not all, some dictionaries, they go beyond this. Mostly dictionaries end at this point, but some go beyond. They give you not just word and their spelling, their pronunciation, their word class, their inflection, I mean variation, their, let's say, definitions, polysemy, their label. They also give you information about same word used as a phrase, same word used as an idiom, I mean its idiomatic form, its compound form, its derivative form. So this information also many dictionaries, you know, give you. Like, take the example of Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. Wherever possible, this dictionary is going to make a list of all the phrasal verbs that word, you know, can have. For example, you are going for a word look, you know, and look can have different phrasal words. Look after, for example, look out, for example, look into, for example, look up, for example. So all these phrasal verbs, you know, dictionaries are going to enlist for you. Exactly the same way, idiomatic expressions. If the same word is used anywhere as an idiom, you will find, you know, the whole list of that. And compound use also. Compound means, you know, when two words you put together and you, let's say, use that word. And then comes derivative. Derivative means if, let's say, the word is decide and it's decisiveness or indecisiveness or decisively, for example. So this is actually derivative. When you derive more words from, from the same one by changing maybe its word class. I mean, if your word is in verb, dictionary may give you its noun form, its adjective form, its adverbial form. This will be, derivative, stuff. Then some dictionaries take one more step and they give you information about synonyms also. I mean, copy meanings, same meanings through a different word, synonyms. And I don't know if there is any dictionary which gives you at the same time antonyms also. But synonyms, of course, yes, there are dictionaries which give you about synonyms. But then you have some special dictionaries, which are dictionaries of synonyms and antonyms, They are specialist dictionaries. But good dictionaries just give you one or two synonyms possible. Then comes, illustrations. Of course, in dictionaries there are some pictures, made, and wherever necessary, if you're talking about some animals, let's say some birds, for example, some electronic gadgets, for example, wherever possible, lexicographers, they try to illustrate, highlight that word with the help of some pictures. And of course, it's from layout point of view also important. And the last thing, special sections. Now, what are special sections? Special sections actually is an extra information, which dictionaries, offer you. And usually this information is, attached with the dictionary in the end, in appendices, like Appendix A and B and C this way. Any extra information could be in the form of, functional grammar, could be in the form of some keywords, can be some geographical information, countries and the capitals and the currency. It can be, the maps, world maps, and then, country-wise different maps and possible information. Could be some, measurement scales, some weight scales, sign language, for example. Could be the notational system, which I talked about, separately like given. So this is how these special sections also become a part of dictionary these days. I believe in Oxford Advanced Learners, you find a special section on grammar and effective sentences also. And a special corner is given to the style as well, the style manual actually, followed by the writers. So this is how dictionaries, try to give you all possible information about the words, which you try to consult dictionaries for. Now, towards the end of my today's lecture, I would like to give you one more important point, and that is that whatever, your words you are consulting your dictionaries for, what to do, with them. Should we record them somewhere? Yes. Do record them somewhere. I mean, you can buy a notebook, for example, that we call as, you can say, your word portfolio, for example. Could be a loose, could be a file with loose papers, or could be a, a diary, for example. You can divide that diary alphabetically, A, B, C, D, okay? And whatever, you word look up from the dictionary, note it down. And what piece of information you are going to note down with that word? Of course, that word, its pronunciation, its word class, its, if you're interested in etymology, go for, otherwise there is, it's not that important for a language learner. But importantly, the exact meanings, the contextual meanings actually, that one, if there are some phrases or some idiomatic stuff available, do note that, and don't forget the label thing. Now this is how, what's going to happen. This is how you will have your own dictionary, being made at home. And that dictionary, of course, going to contain those words, which you once consulted, and they become, part of your own language. In future, of course, you can, in case need to consult it again, of course, instead of consulting a reference dictionary, you can consult your own book. And this is the way actually to pump up your vocabulary also, your expression also, and ultimately, going to lead you towards good writing. So do not waste your words, which, and of course, if you do not, note down those words in some notebook, it will be a time waste also. Tomorrow again, you may need to, find the meanings of the same word again. Again, you'll, pass through the same efforts. So better if you maintain your own record book for yourself. Let's now recapitulate what we talked about, dictionary thing. Of course, we talked about different types of dictionaries. We said there are unabridged and abridged dictionaries. Unabridged dictionaries are reference dictionaries, which are usually put in the libraries, and then you have abridged dictionaries. Abridged are one which, only focus on the commonly used familiar words by, the people. And then you have learner's dictionary. Why we call, actually, abridged dictionaries are, transformed into learner's dictionaries, and we call them learners, why? Because they try to, fulfill the needs of the language learners. All possible in a very user-friendly, manner, given out pronunciation, lots and lots of definitions, labels also, so that, language could be learned in a systematic fashion. Then we talked about how to select a dictionary, and I said 5 points are important. Number 1, check its publication date. Number 2, check, full information. Number 3, check its word class. Number 4, pronunciation. At least 2 pronunciation, British and American. And the last one is the label thing. And then we discussed what different pieces of information, a dictionary gives you. And we said dictionary gives you head word, which are, of course, keywords and their spellings, pronunciation thing, word class, inflection. It gives you the etymology. It gives you all possible definitions of the word, examples also. Then labels are there. If that word is available in phrasal form, then the phrases are there. Idioms are there. Compound words are there. And derivatives are there. And, and then, there are some special sections which, can be of your interest. So this is how, dictionaries help their users. I believe today you have got an idea about the dictionary, how they are produced and how, in different forms they are available in the market, how to select them and how to use them, and what to do with the words which you, of course, search your, through the pages of your dictionary. Have a nice dictionary with you. You can use the same criteria which I gave you. Buy the one and use it the way I said. All different features, which dictionary offers you. Do keep an eye on, so that you could really have a full-fledged in a package, information for the words you really find difficult and you want to know the meanings from, with the help of dictionaries. With this, I'll call it a day. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.